my friends. Welcome to another episode of Soul Led Living Business Edition. How's everybody doing? I feel like whatever is happening in the sky has been a lot for us who own businesses. It's like the emotions of our business, they're like crying babies that are trying to talk to us. That's what I feel. Wonder if that's how you're feeling. It's this Pisces energy that's like the business is kind of like crying and being like, listen to me, talk to me, or the people in it as well. So it's been a little bit of a time. So I hope you guys are doing okay. I'm really thinking about you and sending you lots of love. But I think you're really going to enjoy today's episode. We're going to talk about the energy of your business. Did you know that your business is separate than you are? It's different than who you are. And I think as a business owner, it's always important to get there, especially those of us who maybe our businesses are a creative expression of ourselves, or it has our names, like myself. It's so hard to know that there is a difference between us and the business. So we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to do a little connecting to the energy of our business. So you might be driving or doing something, but perhaps you can find some time later to do this little guided meditation. It's going to be very quick, nothing fancy, but I want to teach you how you can connect to the energy of your business in the way that I do. So let's get to it, guys. It is true. You are not your business. Even if you're a solopreneur, you're not your business. And what I mean by that is similar to, you know how if you have kids, or if you know somebody that has kids, like I was just looking at pictures of my best friend's kids and I was like, oh my gosh, her daughter is like a mini her son is a mini of her husband, and they look a lot like their parents, and there's actually even like personality traits that are like their parents, but they are not their parents, right? So they are separate from their parents. They were birthed from the parents, and they may even look like their parents. They may have like similarities, but they are still separate entities. Your business is a separate entity from you, and I know that is so hard to think of every day, especially if you are the one that's like kind of driving the business. But for today, I want you to separate from that, because it's true. I do feel like our businesses have been calling us and trying to talk to us, and they've been talking through me. So that's really why I brought this episode, because I want you to have a conversation with the energy of your business. And it's first going to start off with knowing that you birthed your business. But your business has totally different energy. It might have a lot of similarities of you for sure. And you obviously have a lot to do with that business and kind of like what makes it work and what doesn't, but it's separate from you. And one like super interesting thing that I see all the time is that because our business is not human and doesn't come in a human body, it's an energy really, it doesn't have the wounds that we have. And often, like if something is not flowing in the business, the reason we put such an attention on ourselves is because there's typically a wound within us that is blocking the flow and the energy of where the business wants to go. Because kind of like think about a child, right? Like the child can't feed itself, or maybe can't even walk yet. Maybe it's in a stroller. So if like mom is like messed up, can't push the stroller, if she's sick, it's hard for the baby, right, to get what it needs. So your business is like that often, that like it wants to move or do its thing and like kind of be its natural self. But often, since we are kind of the driver of it, we're like kind of pushing the stroller often. When we don't work through our own things, we might mess up the flow of the business. And then that's where we start to get confused, thinking that like we are the business, because we do realize like, oh, I don't feel worthy, or I'm scared of putting myself out there. And we kind of get confused. I see this all the time, for example, with like social media, right? Like you might feel that my business could use social media, but I feel embarrassed to do social media, or I don't know how to do it, or I don't want to put myself out there. And that is like us getting caught up in our own stuff when the business itself may really be asking for social media. So it's kind of like you have a child that wants to be an actor, and the mom might not know how to be an actor. Maybe she doesn't even know how to get to the acting class, but the child's like, I don't care about your shit. Like, just find me an acting class, like get me a good acting instructor, because like I'm meant to be an actor, and like please get out of my way, So that's often what our business is trying to do. And I think it's when we understand that separation, we can catch some of those things. So today's really about like you're taking a moment to ask yourself what the business is asking of you. What is the business trying to say? Another interesting thing that I've heard recently, I was talking to a colleague and a friend of mine, Alice Hugh, owner of woowoocompany.com. And she does these really cool career astrology reports. So you can go to her website, woowoocompany.com, and you can put in your information and it will give you a free astrology report based on career. But when I was talking to her, she was also like saying, well, your business also has an astrology report, which I had heard before. I've never run, run the info. And I was like, well, how do people even know? I was like, well, I guess I could look at when I, applied for the, EIN and all that kind of stuff, like maybe when I became a business. And she was like, you don't even have to go that far. You can, sometimes the business changes and you're like, what, today's the day that I really feel like I fully am committing to my business. And you can pick that day and pick a time and you can decide that is its birthday. And I think from owning a business for so long, I opened Nikki Novo Writes because originally it was just a business to do freelance writing work because I was a freelance writer. And still, Nikki Novo Writes is still like the official name of my company. But that business has been through many renditions. It kind of feels like Benny and I have been married for 12 years, but there was a time after the 7th year that we kind of recommitted. So I almost feel like we have a new anniversary in a sense because it's like a new marriage. And I think businesses, if you're with them long enough, that happens as well. So Nikki Novo Writes later turned into, it's had a few renditions, but now lately I've been feeling like it has a new mission and a new identity, which really honestly started with the podcast, right? I don't know if you guys feel that if you've been following my work, but there's something new coming. And I recently had a little bit of come to Jesus with it. And when Alice told me that, I was like, you know what? I actually do know when its new birthday is. So I just gave a new birthday to the business because it's changing so much. And I committed to this change. I have been feeling this change for about 6 months or so, but I hadn't fully committed until it really conversations with some friends and just conversations with myself and the business and my husband made me realize oh, this is a whole new thing now. So I just gave it a new birthday and a new time based off a moment when I knew that it clicked in me. And then you can look it up on Alice's website and get the it's a career chart, but it's a business chart for your business. So that might be really cool, guys. It's completely free. She does have paid versions as well, if you want an extended one, which I've done, which was very accurate as well. And she's going to be on the show soon, but just kind of wanted to shout her out because I think that might be helpful for some of us that want to kind of really act as if the business is separate from us. And sometimes just seeing its astrology chart and seeing that it has a different energy than you. I guess you could even do the human design of your business. I don't know. But seeing that separation might be helpful. It was helpful for me. Something else I find fascinating when you start to see the business separate from you is that we really start, what that really does, the blessing of seeing it separate from us, is we start to observe the business rather than react to the business or get all caught up in it. We start to see what it needs. Kind of similar to having, let's say, a pet, right? If Molly, my dog, starts acting a little strange, yeah, I could totally get caught up and be oh my gosh, what's happening, and freaking out. Recently, we actually had to have this surgery for her she was gonna die. Thank God, I caught it in time. My husband's oh, it's not a big deal, but I was no. I wasn't caught up in myself. I was really observing her, and I was no, there is something off here. She is trying to tell me something. And I was able to observe her and make the right choice for her, even though she can't talk to me, right? Took her to the doctor, and the doctor was well, thank God you brought her. I was well, that's good news. So when we start to separate from the business, we can actually hear it better and really show up as a scientist and an observer. This is hard when the business is maybe selling our creativity. So for example, like maybe I am selling paintings. It's a little difficult, right? Because it's like I am the product. Or maybe I am selling readings. It's a little difficult because I am the product, but you're not really the product, right? Even like a reading is another thing that it's a product that I have birthed, but it's not fully, a reading could never be fully me, right? Now, if I made a TV show, a reality show about myself, it could never fully be the depth that is Nikki Novo, right? That is Nicole Mercedes Novo. Same thing with you guys. So when there might have a lot of me because I birthed it, but it's separate from me. So when I start to see that, I can observe it and as a scientist, like, oh, this is so interesting. Like this is happening, right? So let's say, you're getting some like customer complaints or something, or maybe people are not buying the thing that you're trying to sell. It's so easy to be like, oh my gosh, like I'm a failure, I suck, this is me, I don't know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And there may be some truth to that, right? Like you may be like, yeah, like when I came out with Soul Led Living, the book, there's so much truth to the fact that like, I do not know how to sell a book yet. Like that is truth, but does that mean I'm bad or like I'm never gonna make it or like no, it just means like all right, I'm gonna have to study book selling and how that works and it's like this whole other world, but it doesn't mean that I'm never gonna be successful or that I'm bad. It just means that there's like a skill that I do not have. And when I see it that way, when I understand that, like I can remove the emotions of it and be like, oh, okay, like who can help me sell? Who do I need to talk to? What friends do I know that have, sold books before? Like what experts can I hire? Like, what bookstores can I go to, right? Like it gives me space to like find the solution and know that it's not about me. It's not that I wrote a bad book, is that I do not know how to fully sell it. And that's a skill that I do not have yet. So when we separate ourselves, we actually don't have to get caught up or get scared or think like, oh my gosh, the universe is telling me that I shouldn't have written a book. Like I should, close down the business because like this is not the path I'm supposed to take. No, when we separate ourselves and really say like, okay, if I was not emotionally evolved, if I didn't like get emotionally involved in this, if I did not feel that this was my fault, if I did not feel like I am bad, what is what is this trying to tell me? Like if book sales are down or whatever, like what's the truth here? And I sit there with no emotions about it and really listen. I'm going to hear book selling is a whole other beast and it's a whole other industry and it's a whole other strategy that you do not know. That's what I'm going to get. Okay, cool. I can work with that, right? So that's the beauty of the separation because you show up as an observer, as more of like a scientist, and you remove the wounds that we have around our own self-worth. That's why we do businesses, because it's like, it's an opportunity to actually like, it's not in a human body. It doesn't have any wounds. Like it's an opportunity to like let something be new and let something work without these wounds. But of course, like we humans come with the wounds and we get in our way, which is of course why as an entrepreneur, I always say that like going to healers, having your therapist, working through your stuff, your coaches, whatever it may be, is just as important as creating a good product, because we do get in the way, unfortunately. But this technique of separating from your business, I think is going to be really helpful. What do you guys think? Let's do this little exercise. If you're driving, we'll have to do it later, but even if you're driving, you can kind of obviously keep your eyes open, but maybe feel into what you're getting. That's okay, but maybe do it again later. We're going to really feel into the energy of the business. I teach this like when I'm teaching intuition. I like to see businesses, they don't come in a human body, but I see them as like little bubbles. So whatever physical, I want you to give it a physical, like look. It could be a house, it could be a bubble. Mine's a bubble, I think, because it's like an idea or there's like inspiration. So I just see it like almost like as a blue bubble. So I want you to take a minute to decide, how's it showing up for you? And don't judge whatever vision's coming. Like if it's a couch, like let it come as a couch, right? Just let that vision come forward or whatever. And a vision is really, my eyes are open right now. I can see the blue circle in my third eye, which means like you know when you close your eyes and I tell you, okay, like I want you to imagine the house you grew up in. That muscle that you're using to see like the house you grew up in is the same muscle we're using when I tell you like, give me a visual for your business. Okay, so it's nothing super fancy, and it's like the muscle we use when we're dreaming. Okay, so for me, mine's a little funny blue, like kind of cloud looking thing. I'd love to hear what yours is, so let me know, guys. When you can DM me, or we're trying to put these on YouTube, so hopefully you can. That would be great because I'd love to talk to you guys. You can leave me a comment there also. Okay, so we got the vision, and let's call its name, right? So and if you've changed the name, like for me, for example, like I'm not going to call this bubble Nikki Novo Writes because yes, that's like the legal name, but the same way my legal name is Nicole Mercedes Novo, but I go by Nikki Novo and there is identity in Nikki Novo. Call it like whatever it currently is to you, you know, like whatever the current name is to you. Okay, cool. So we got our visual. We've said my name, right? We say its name. Okay, cool. And let's go ahead and you can close your eyes if you want, you know, and let's go ahead and ask it, what do you need from me? If you have a pen and paper, I should have told you that before. That would be helpful. What do you need from me? Okay. I know we have a lot of people here, but I'm going to try to pick up and see like what some of them might be saying to you. I'm getting some of you is like more time, like almost like it needs more like dedicated hours. For some, I'm seeing like accountability, like a structure or something, like almost like this kind of makes me feel like people that are just starting a business. Like I need maybe like a program that I meet up with every week and I'm like working on it, like some sort of like structure, accountability time. It could be a coach too. For some, I'm getting, I need you to not worry. So that's some messaging. Yeah, so get whatever message you're getting when you ask your business, what do you need from me? Oh, I got another one, like excitement. Like it felt sales related. Like I just need you to feel excited about what we're doing, and that like energy is going to be very attractive. Okay, let's go ahead and again hold focus on your visual. And now we're going to say, how can I get out of your way? Right? So if you have a pen and paper, that'd be awesome. You can write down what you're getting. How can I get out of your way? For me, I was getting to stop holding, I guess, my creations like so close to my chest. Like it looks like it's telling me like, please like stop holding the things you're making so closely and like let other people, not necessarily customers, but almost like gatekeepers, I guess, like kind of like almost like if you're going to write a book, get a publishing deal, like show it to other people that are gatekeepers, that I guess that have access to bigger things. So that kind of collaboration is also what I got, so that I'm just too afraid of like rejection, I guess. So I am keeping it small. Yeah. For some of you, I'm getting like selling yourself short, like kind of like, I don't know, like thinking that you're less capable than you are. Some of you doubting that you could be like the CEO of this company, like that you are kind of like, you know, when you doubt being somebody's like mother, you know, you're like, oh, like when Ali came into my life, she was 4 and I didn't know anything about motherhood. And I was like, why the hell am I in this position? Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but trusting that like she chose me, right? That like I am the right mother for her. And it's, for some of you guys, your business is saying like, you are the right leader for me. You're the right leader for this idea, for this to come forward. And then our third question, let's go ahead and ask it, where are you trying to go? Because you may have ideas of where you want it to go, right? But where is your energy business, right? Trying to go, you can say its name again, see the visual. Where are you trying to go? Use your pen and paper, and I really like pray for yourself. Please help me to remove myself, to be unattached to the outcome on this one. I release that outcome. And business, where are you trying to go? I'm not going to share mine because it's really funny, but because it's kind of personal, but mine actually gave me like a location, like a place. So let's see what yours got. Let me see what I'm getting for you guys. Some of you I see like a storefront, like I'm trying to become a storefront, like a store almost, super beautiful, like a brand. There's like, some of you are doing like kind of a global kind of franchise thing that's like going to be in many places. So that's where you're trying to go. Some of us just getting like to be known, to like have a name, a brand, a name. Oh, and like some I'm getting like, ooh, I'm sorry, I have like full body goosebumps, it's hard. Some of you I'm getting, man, to like bring like tremendous healing to communities, like just joy, but like healing through joy, like this, like in a happy way, you know, not in a heavy way. Okay, and whatever else you got, that's good. So let's go ahead and we're gonna get out of this. We're gonna say thank you, business, for being with me. I like to rub my hands together, and I like to put one hand kind of facing the energy that I was working with and bring another hand towards my energy, so I'm back in my energy. So we're gonna go ahead and bring yourself back into your energy, feeling your energy going down your head, going down your neck and your chest and your stomach, going down your legs, and into feeling your feet become roots, like roots of a tree rooting into the earth. You're back in your body. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. All right, you did it, guys. I hope that was helpful. So you can do that. Don't overuse it, of course, because your business is going to be like just work. But yeah, when you're feeling a little disconnected, when you're feeling like too involved, when you're not understanding the messages, right? Like, oh my gosh, when am I supposed to leave this thing altogether? Like, is this this project not working? Like, did I make a mistake? Or even when you're thinking about making a project, like go and sit with your business and let it have like a seat at the table, right? It might not be, the business is similar to like, kind of like, it might not be like the end all be all, like all the decisions, because it has entrusted you in being the leader. Similar to, I want to hear my son's opinion and talk to him about it, but I might have to make the final call because I am the adult, at the end of the day, but it's important to get the information. So definitely to sit with it and to know that this is a great thing. This means that like all the wounds that we have and that like we have to work through as humans, we can put it aside and still have a really successful business. Like, we do not need to be perfect to have a successful business, because we can separate ourselves. We are, a work in progress, all this kind of stuff, separate ourselves from where our business is trying to go to. So this is like, yay, this should be freeing to us. And just kind of like when you're not talking to your inner child, the business, if you're not talking to it, it could get a little mad and like get a little wonky and try to get your attention, So if you're ever feeling that, this is a good exercise as well. So yeah, and I love the messages that were coming through for you guys. I hope some of that was helpful, and I hope this exercise was helpful, and I can't wait to hear how it helped you. So have a great week. Love you so much. If this was helpful and you have other friends that are business owners, I'd love for you to share this episode. And if you have any questions, know that we have a little hotline where you can drop a question about your business, and I'm happy to download messages as long as you let me use it for a podcast episode. Okay? I will see you soon. Much love to you always.